All right, welcome back, y'all. So today we're in my kitchen just because I'm cooking some food and I don't want it to burn. Anyways, so you see all that back there, right? So again, this video is not for medical advice. I'm not your doctor. I'm not a doctor. I am doing this for entertainment and educational purposes only. And I wanted to go over mental wellness and particularly about images and how we portray images on social media and what that can do to someone's perspective in life. And this is brought to my attention from my wife that she's looking on websites and to buy some fitness attire. And she was looking at this one company she likes. It's called Born Primitive. I'll show you all in a second. But Born Primitive, they show the women as they are, okay? And there's not a lot of Adobe or filtering going on, so not a lot of Photoshop. They might do some lighting just to show the texture of the clothing, or maybe the real color of the clothing. That's kind of what they use that for, not for making scars go away, cellulite go away, scar or stretch marks. And the reason why she brought this up was because she was talking about there's something on the internet about how there's like a sculpting tool, like a fascia tool that can just get rid of cellulite, which that just can't happen. Cellulite's not fascia. Fascia is muscle, and you can't just scrape it and go away, right? That's due to fatty deposits, fat cells, water, and whatever pulls into the fat cells, which would be your toxins or other nutrients and such, right? And then you have less muscle, smaller muscle belly underneath that fat, right? So it's going to kind of turn into that cellulite, right? And a lot of women have insecurities about this, insecurities about that, insecurities about stretch marks, because while they may not be having that growing up, but post-pregnancy, they may have these, and they may run into these, and they'll be with them for the rest of their life unless they get a procedure done to get rid of some of the extra loose skin that maybe they've lost after losing the body weight. And so I just don't think it's healthy that there's companies that will Photoshop and get rid of the cellulite and the stretch marks where we know it's normal. I mean, I personally, I like curves, right? So I don't want a very very almost like pubescent girl, right? So like I'd rather have a woman, someone that has curves, someone that has life, right? And so the stretch marks and a small amount of like the cellulite comes along with it. That's just what it happens, and it comes along with building muscle. We can always be smoothed out through extra dieting and just continuing through building muscle. The more muscle you have, the less likely you're going to have that cellulite buildup. So I'll share my screen and I'll show you what I'm talking about, because Born Primitive is the one that she was talking about that she thoroughly loves because of how they market themselves. And I think it's very healthy how they do this. And so this is their Instagram page, Born Primitive, no spaces, no dots. So if you're listening to this and not watching, but their women are typically will be more like CrossFit. There are probably some bodybuilders in here, some yoga girls in here, but they're not going to like ask for people to add on filters, right? So, oops, I don't want to like that. But if we see down here, like, look, I mean, there's stretch marks, right? It's not just the water reflection, okay? There are those flaws that are going to be normal, and every woman, every man will have. If you're building muscle, you also have stretch marks, and you have some loose skin whenever you start to lose that muscle and you get older. It's part of life. And let me just step aside one sec, but you can still hear me. So that's part of life, that we're going to get these stretch marks, the cellulite sometimes. It's part of growing. It's part of going through the phase of building muscle, losing body fat, building muscle, losing body fat, building muscle, losing body fat, maintaining. I think that's a very healthy way to manage body weight and to help increase your metabolism to make it sustainable for the rest of your life, okay? So what I don't like is, so how Gymshark, they were all about body positivity, right? They're like, oh, like we don't discriminate against any type of body type. We love all women. Why isn't this popping up? And so they started making a move in their marketing, and they started marketing with larger women or women who are just starting their fitness journey, women who have flaws. I know they have some people who are amputees on here and such, which is totally fine, right? But where I don't get, this is where I draw the line, right? Because this is unhealthy. Now, this is just one example because I showed this other one on here of that one girl. Or actually, we'll use this one right here, okay? On Born Primitive. So this is their website. And so this one, we'll click on here, Born Primitive. Again, it's very, very common for women to have the stretch marks in their thighs. So you see right there, the thighs, or on the butt, around the butt area. Cellulite to a small amount, nothing that's going to be distracting. But here, you're Gymshark, you're not going to tell me that there's no stretch marks whatsoever, right? So I think, any stretch marks? No. So what I think is, as a consumer, if I were someone who was wanting this body positivity woke movement that's saying, you know, let me be fat, let me be unhealthy, screw your health, and just because I live my life and I'm fat, yeah, I'm going to, you know, you run the risk of diabetes, you run the risk of a lot of other diseases or complications. I want to send you to the medical facilities or hospitals. Well, now you're increasing my health insurance. So now you're hurting me because of your lifestyle. So, and it's not like it was something that was genetic, okay? Being fat is not genetic. That's a choice. You may have a genetic polymorphism that may cause you to have a rougher time, a harder time to lose weight or to build muscle, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. So you're using that as an excuse, as a crutch, and you're just unwilling to put the work in. And so now your movement is actually hurting us. And now you're also hurting those people who think that you, like Gymshark, you say, oh, we're supporting all body types, but then you go and you Photoshop and you filter and you erase these flaws that are supposed to be what the movement's about. It's about the movement. So you see the same thing on social media, which is why you should trust 10% of what's on social media as far as marketing goes from companies that, you know, they do a good job of Photoshop and filtering. The companies out there, I would say, you know, there's that 10% that's going to give you the truth and they're going to let you know it. And they're going to actually say, hey, like, you know, if you ask them a question, they're like, hey, I don't know the answer. Let me find out for you. They're going to have the humility there. You're going to have the integrity there. You can see that through what they're putting out on social media, in their stores, how they display their clothing or their products, or how they display themselves and how they display their company. Are they very transparent with everything? So that's what you have to discern for yourself as a consumer and someone who actually believes in this movement. Do you believe in body positivity as far as, hey, you know, this is my body now, but I'm going to improve it? That is mentally healthy. But to say, hey, this is my body, I'm not going to do anything to improve my health, that's a mental disability. Like, that's not helpful at all. So again, going back to the shared screen, there's just too many examples of this on Gymshark, even in their pants, because again, women, and guys, I mean, you see, if you wear tight pants, and you have cellulite, your cellulite's going to show through the pants. Your stretch marks aren't, but your cellulite will. And that's just something that, again, they refuse to put on their website, even though they have these models or these girls doing these photo shoots. I don't know if they consider them models. I don't really know anymore. Everyone's a model if you take a picture of yourself, right? So it doesn't matter. But you're not doing anybody favors by erasing their flaws or hiding their flaws. What you're doing is that you're impeding on their progress for them to be able to make to do hard work, to make themselves better. And that's what we need a society of. We need people who are willing to do hard work and who accept it. And where are the plus size models in these things? But they accept that there is going to be hard work. Nothing's going to be given. Okay. And if it's given to you, you have the same ability, you have the same ease of losing everything as you gained it. We see that in people who were either given money or people who won lottos, people who are given great genetics to stay thin, to build muscle, whatever it is, right? You see these people, they use their choices, and sometimes they make their choices poorly, and it affects them, and they lose it just as quick as they got it. Now this one, again, you're going to tell me that she has zero type of cellulite whenever, or yeah, so there's no I would say frumpiness on here. Okay, so you're going to tell me that there's literally none. But every gym, everyone that goes to the gym, everyone that goes to these events, that fitness events, like, we see all body types and we accept all body types. That's why we're here educating. That's why we're here putting out this content, to help other people, is to help with a good mental health as well. So I think mental health rules, your mind is going to do a lot of the work whenever your physical body can't keep up, and that's going to be a lot of the time. There's probably a good statistic on there, but again, if you don't have that mental health, if you're not seeing the support of others in the industry who actually have struggled through these things, who help people get through them, and who don't try to hide it and give you false hope, just know that these pictures that you see, again, people have flaws. People, they build muscle, they gain fat, they lose muscle. And we just need to make sure that when we're trying to chase a body type that we love or we enjoy, or we hope that our spouse or our significant other will enjoy, that we have the mental capacity to say, this is normal, this will happen, but I can do my best to prevent further exacerbation of this issue. So again, my tips for this is really to just be realizing what the issue is, and understand that you are in full control. Whether you have more obstacles because of genetics or some type of health issue or an environmental issue, time management issue, you have the ability to be able to manage and to overcome that. And you have help. So you just need to be able to have self-accountability, set your day up to manage it well from start to finish, day, week, month, and have a plan for success. You're failing to plan, failing or preparing to fail, planning to prepare. You know what the saying is. The failure to plan is preparing to fail, right? So that's what we don't want to happen. So you got to set it up. You got to have it in front of you. Got to have it on your phone, written on the wall, whatever you want to do, visual boards, whatever you need. But don't rely on social media to set the plan out for you. That's the worst, to take things from social media that are fake or obviously manipulated in a way to draw or attract you in as a consumer. Just be real and honest with yourself, and understand that a lot of the things that you see on social media are not real. And if you could like, share, comment, subscribe, let me know if this helps, or if this is something that you don't want to hear from me again. All right, later.